Now with current happenings in Ocean County, here's Desiree Behringer with In the News.
For Teddy Robbins, Caregivers Volunteers of Central Jersey has been like her second family. She used to be a volunteer and help others. Now she uses their services.
I didn't think I was going to get old. You never think you're going to get old, but you do.
Teddy is 88 years old and is no longer able to drive.
It's not only what they do, it's just that they really care about you.
Teddy is grateful for the visits from caregiver volunteers and friends Nancy and Larry Akins. Every 2 weeks, the Akins go grocery shopping for Teddy.
And since we've been doing it, we do shopping for Teddy. We take other people to doctor's visits. We even took on an Alzheimer's patient that we sit with once a week.
According to Jane Maloney, Director of Senior Services, this is a special time of the year for caregivers.
November is National Family Caregiver Month, and this is really the time of the year that we pause and we look towards those people who really are the unpaid caregivers.
Caregiver Volunteers is a nonprofit organization that provides volunteers to help senior citizens with simply daily tasks, like running errands or taking them to a doctor's appointment. Executive Director Lynette Whiteman says all the services are free and they're always looking for volunteers.
You need to want to meet people, need to want to give back a little bit. Most of our volunteers feel like they've been very blessed in their life, and now it's time to give back to somebody else.
They help families fill in those all too important gaps, especially when loved ones don't live nearby.
The Caregiver Volunteer Program offers other services as well. They have a kids and pet therapy program, and you can find out all the information here at the House of Hope at the Presbyterian Church in Toms River. For the Best Years, I'm Desiree Behringer.
When we come back, we'll learn tips on making this holiday season healthy and delicious. Stay with us. Welcome back to The Best Years. The holidays are the yummiest time of the year. Here to give us tips on how to keep our food healthy and safe is Tom Yanisco, Administrative Director of Hospitality Services at Community Medical Center. Welcome to The Best Years.
Thank you very much for having me here.
So what's different about getting ready for the holidays and preparing these big meals? What makes it a little riskier in terms of possible illnesses?
Well, I think the challenge is when people go to make these meals, it kind of takes them a little bit out of their element. They used to be cooking for, 1 or 2 people, but all of a sudden you have a whole family, lots of guests around. So, your planning steps need to be, invested a little bit more to make sure things go a little bit smoothly.
Now, Thanksgiving is one of my absolutely favorite holidays. I love all the food. We love having it at our house. What are some of the special things you need to keep in mind when you're purchasing your turkey, for instance?
Well, turkeys come frozen for the most part, or you can buy them fresh. If you're going to purchase a frozen turkey, make sure you do that far enough in advance because it needs to thaw out. A large turkey that, close to 20 pounds can take 4 or 5 days under refrigeration to thaw out properly. So that's something that you have to remember how you're going to handle the thaw-out process.
And if it's not thawed properly, how does that hurt you?
Well, what happens is if you cook it when it's a little bit frozen on the inside, then it's going to take a lot longer. What's going to happen, either the outside's going to become burned or overcooked, or you're not going to reach a safe internal temperature to serve the food safely when you think it's done.
Now, what is that internal temperature that the turkey needs to reach to be safe?
When you're cooking it the first time, it should reach about 185 degrees. And a simple way to do that is just to get a thermometer, a meat thermometer, stick it in kind of near the leg joint, and that's probably the best place to really check. A lot of them have pop-up thermometers as well.
And now here comes the age-old debate over the stuffing in the bird or not in the bird.
Well, we don't recommend that you put the stuffing in the bird when you roast it. You can do that at the end, but we'd prefer if you made your stuffing separately, cook that in the oven, roasted your turkey separately, and then maybe bring it all together when you're ready to serve it at the table.
Because what are the risks if you cook the stuffing inside?
Well, what happens is you have a lot of, the turkey's raw when it starts. So you have a lot of those juices and, drippings that might not reach a safe internal temperature for the turkey and gets inside the stuffing, and that can cause a problem.
So we've had our fantastic, huge holiday meal, turkey, all the trimmings. How about cleanup? Anything special people should be aware of?
Well, you need to watch with something called cross-contamination, where you have raw and cooked products that might interact on the same surfaces, whether it's on knives, cutting boards, towels, your aprons. That's one thing you want to do, and always wash your hands.
And now it's time to store those leftovers. How long can you safely leave the food out?
Well, there's kind of like a 2-hour rule that you hear a lot about, that from the time you bring it out of the oven till you put it away, it shouldn't really lapse more than 2 hours.
And who's most susceptible to becoming ill from food?
Well, people that have immune systems compromised, which would either be the very, very young or, the elderly, because they tend to have other issues and other physical situations might help their ability to fend off simple types of foodborne illnesses that you and I might be able to just take care of no problem.
We had talked earlier on the phone about a danger zone as far as bacteria multiplying quickly. What are the temperatures people need to be aware of when it comes to food?
Typically the danger zone is between 41 degrees Fahrenheit and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the range where bacteria grows the most quickly. So the key to serving food safely is keep foods out of those or minimize the amount of time they're within that zone. So keep it either hot, above 140, or keep it cold, below 41 degrees.
So Tom Yunisco, thank you so much for all those great tips. We're going to have great holidays, great holiday foods, and we look forward to seeing you later on in the show with some great soup ideas.
Okay,
thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Sandy.
Now, for food safety fact sheets and fun holiday ideas, visit the Department of Agriculture's website at usda.gov and click on Food and Nutrition.